Let me know if you can hear me okay and see me okay. Today is January 22nd, 2026. It is 7:29. Market opens in just a couple of minutes here. QQQ is back up to 616, which is fantastic. Go ahead and share our link with the team. That way you guys can all watch another live day trading session. Got some interesting news today, interesting reports coming out. Breaking news, U.S. pending home sales unexpectedly fall 9.3% month over month, far worse than the 0.3% expected decline. This marks the largest decline since the pandemic in 2020. Also, the GDP came in at 4.4, expected was 4.3, so bullish for all markets. Two reports out this morning, one good, one very bad. The entire market is green, MSTR is still red. So today is going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day, guys. All right. Andrew, good morning. Good morning. We are live. Also have a link to sign up with WEBULL if you haven't yet. You get 75 free shares when you sign up. This is one of their largest promotions. Use my link or someone's link and you will get those 75 free shares. Free money, and you get you can have multiple brokerage accounts. So if you're using Robinhood or using WEBULL or using Moomoo or something else, Fidelity, Charles Schwab, you can have multiple brokerage accounts. There's no one saying you can only have one. All right. So let's see what we can get into today. It looks like Bitcoin not doing much here. Looks like it's a little stale, but it is at a low of 89,500. Had a low of 87,200 previously. MSTR still trying to push up slightly, but below that moving average. So I'm excited to see what happens today with that. Can we get a lower low today because it is below that moving average, or could we see this begin to rally? I did buy a few shares already of MSTZ, only about 10 shares so far. We're going to be a little patient with this one, but I do have a few shares in this already. So we're going to go ahead and turn these off. We're going to do something here where we're going to get more into like a blind trade challenge, where we're going to cover up our overall P&L, so that way we take some of the emotions away from actually trading here. Go ahead and buy 10 more shares, as MSTR is showing signs of selling off here. We're going to go a little lighter on our position sizes starting out. Again, there's no one saying that we have to make all of our money and use all of our buying power in the first 30 minutes of the market open. We literally have all day to trade. The market is open in my area from 7:30 until 2 p.m. Usually it's open 9:30 to 4:30, or till 4. 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. So if you guys have any stocks that you would like me to go over, definitely let me know in the comment section. Asking questions is also encouraged. So if we have any new beginners or new traders out there, feel free and ask those questions so we can better help you with your trading knowledge and your trading abilities and learning how to trade. Go ahead and take a look at QQQ. Looks like QQQ is falling as well. Love to see it. Open, pushing slightly. Let's go ahead and look at a 30-minute chart from yesterday, or let's look at the 5-minute. I like the 5-minute. Pushing up, open at 666. Bull pushed up very nicely yesterday from a low of $7.64 to a high of $8. Sound pushing from 10.10 up to 10.86. LUNR holding around that $20 level. SoFi very nice, pushing up to 26.38 from lows of $25 yesterday. Very nice move by SoFi. Wow, that was a 5% overnight move on SoFi. Chipotle in the 40s. Intel Intel pushed from $49.89 up to $55 yesterday. That was a nice 11% move on Intel, now selling off this morning. PayPal pushing up since yesterday. Very choppy though, pushed up from 55 to 56, pushed back down to 55, and now it's up to 57. That's a nice 3% profit overnight. PayPal to acquire Symbio to expand AI-powered commerce. Okay. Netflix selling off after pushing up yesterday to about $86, now selling off down to 84. Hood also pushed up to 80 or 108, now selling off with the overall market. Nvidia trying to hold above this moving average. Beautiful play from Nvidia yesterday. Lows of 177 to highs of 186. That was a 4.5% profit. Lululemon pushing up. Amazon selling off but trying to hold above that moving average, as well as Apple and Google. Tesla selling off. Got up to highs of 438. And Microsoft not really doing much, still around that 448 mark. So QQQ is actively dropping still, but remember, it's still very bullish, still above this moving average, so we can still see a bounce off of this level around 619 for a nice push up, or it could begin to sell off. We're going to wait and see. On the 1 minute time frame though, it is selling off. So we're going to go ahead and bring our alert down, adjust our alerts here. See if it breaks 619.49. Crypto is selling off slightly here. It's not as aggressive today, but it is selling off a little bit, which means MSTR is pushing down. So MSTZ pushed up to $14. Now we do have 20 shares, but it's only resulted in about $5 so far. Now I said I wasn't going to look, but looks like that's what we're trading today. It's all about what stocks you work well with. There's been 2 or 3 weeks where I've literally just traded the same company, which was MSTZ. There's been days where I kind of mix it up and I trade a few different things. Either way, it's all about what you're comfortable with. I have a guy who only trades CrowdStrike. There's another guy who only trades Microsoft. There's some people that only trade APP. So build your criteria, build your checklist, and look at companies that you work well with. Whoa, this is weird. I wonder what happened with all this. I look at AppLovin. Does it look like that with all my stuff? No, just with that one. That was weird. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Looks like Bitcoin is pushing up on this level here. That's okay. We're looking for a nice drop below. Again, a very light position. Usually I go in heavy. You guys know, who've been watching me for a while, that I would literally already have 100 shares, but I only have 20 shares at the moment. So it's a 1/5 of my overall desired position size. So being patient, MSTR, let MSTR run up if it wants to run up, test this moving average, and then when it gets rejected, we can obviously buy some more down at 1340 if that's the case. If not, if we start seeing signs of upward momentum, then I wouldn't mind obviously adding to my position. So, you know, if it can go back up to yesterday's high of 15, we can make a nice dollar per share, about 8%. So whether it's 20 shares and we make 20 bucks, if we have 50 shares and make 50 bucks, or we have 100 shares and make 100 bucks. Either way, you know, we will be able to make some money today when MSTR sells off. Now markets also need to sell off too, so that is very crucial. Markets sell off, Bitcoin sells off, we'll have a better setup for MSTR selling off. And MSTR literally has all these touch points here around 170. That's what we were trading it before, around that 170 range. Usually gets rejected around 170. All these different touch points here. But it could also get rejected around, you know, what is that, 167? 167-ish. Sure, it has its breakout moments, trying to go bullish, but that just didn't happen. So we'll see if it runs up to resistance and gets rejected, or does it continue its downward descent now? That's going to be based off of Bitcoin here. So Bitcoin's kind of trading horizontally. Same thing with Bitcoin, right? It's got a lot of weird consolidation patterns around here, so I'd love to see some more resistance. Around this level for Bitcoin. Obviously it has some support around this level here. Now it can break that support very easily. It's trading within this range, so we're looking for a breakout. A break above or a breakout below. It's still very early. How did you guys sleep last night? I didn't go to bed till like 12:30 at night, guys. I didn't go to bed till after midnight. So I literally got like maybe 6 hours of sleep. Now remember, Bitcoin's had a previous low of 87. It's going back up to retest, but look at all this consolidation around 90. Be nice to go back down and retest lows of, you know, 87, 86, even $80. So we'll see what happens. Looks like it is finding some support around these levels. There's nothing saying that it can't go down lower. So not going to be super aggressive today, but as long as this continues to fall, I'll be happy. It needs to get below around 89.1. And it can happen. There's obviously room here for it to go lower. Is there any companies you guys want me to take a look at? Any stocks? Let me know and I can do that. Also, I'd love to know, are you guys comfortable with your trading style? Are you guys still trying to adapt new trading styles? Um, I'd love to know if how you guys are doing. Are you guys trading with large position size? Are you guys still paper trading? Let me know. Either here in the live stream or later on in the Discord. There we go. Looks like it's getting rejected. We'll add 10 more shares as it's showing signs of confirmation of it going to the upside. It's holding very strong here for MSTZ. MSTR selling off. QQQ trying to recover, so it's not great, but we could see some more potential downside here for QQQ. We locked in $21 on TQQQ yesterday. If you didn't watch that live stream, it was just shy of 2% profit yesterday. So not too bad on that trade. Only traded with about $1,100 and made 2%. Again, not trying to go full size on the positions. That way we can control our emotions, but also if we see another setup, we could take a second day trade with the other $1,000. Now it's kind of the mindset behind it going in. We still do have our swing trades. We'll go over our swing trades here in a little bit. QQQ dropping. It's going to retest the moving average. Let's see if it bounces or if it sells off. Here we go, testing the moving average. Looks like it's going to sell off. Oh, it's holding. It's holding. Let's see what happens here. Bitcoin selling off too. Big sell-off by MSTR down to 161.85. Which means MSTZ is back up to 14. We got 30 shares around $420. Not bad. If this goes back up to 15, we're golden. QQQ. QQQ selling off. It is below that moving average. We'll see if this continuation happens more to this downside. See if we get a big gap up. Also, are you guys finding my live stream okay in the Discord? It seems like there's people that still can't find it for some reason. It's like they have trouble finding the morning live trading. So let me know. Were you able to find it easily? I'll post it in the main chat too. That way more people can join. Also, if you guys do me a favor and actually when you click on the video in the Discord, actually click on YouTube for me. Go in and smash the like button. And then you could always go back and watch it in the Discord. But I don't think I get views when you watch it in the Discord. Maybe I do. Also, that you can't participate in the live chat if you're not watching it on YouTube. If you're watching it on the Discord, you're missing out on a lot of opportunity to chat with me live. And I'd love to answer any questions you guys have during this live stream. Why are the markets dropping? Why do you see potential in these companies? Bitcoin selling off $89,058. See if it goes below 89,000. Again, being very patient here. I'd love to see MSTR drop even more. Is getting rejected off of that moving average. Okay, looks like it's selling off even more here. Gonna buy another 10. Bought another 10 at 13.92. So now we should be in 40 shares at 550. 40 shares wouldn't be a bad move if it goes up to 15. Be about $40. Bitcoin continuing to sell off. We're going to take another 10. More continuation. Buying another 10 shares at $14. 50 shares at about 700. So I think that's where we'll hold it for now. 50 shares, not too bad. We want to see Bitcoin continue to sell off. It's still very possible. MSTR can come down even further. And with the way the market is, QQQ, selling off. We'll see if it bounces off of this level. But because it's done it before, right? It can get below the moving average, then pop right back up. Gets below the moving average, consolidates, and pops right back up. So we'll see what happens here in just a moment. Is it going to shoot back up, or will it get rejected off of this moving average and make a new low? So it should look of two ways, right? We got the sell off. Maybe we'll see some choppiness and then it pop back up, right? That's one way that it could look. The other way would be it sells off, goes back up to retest, and then it sells off again, and it trickles down. That would be another way. Let's see what happens. Go, looks like it's potentially getting rejected off of that moving average to make some lower lows. Bitcoin pushing up just a little bit. MSTR still not moving much. Oh, QQQ, testing moving average. We'll see if it continues to push higher. That was the low. Does it consolidate? Push up or push down? Andrew, what stock goes up when Bitcoin is down? Oh, that's one of the companies is MSTZ. It's an inverse of MSTR. So we can pull that up on the grid here, and you can see that MSTZ, it's a perfect correlation, basically. So when MSTR sells off, as you can see here, it pushed down, MSTZ pushed up to 15. When MSTR went from 156 up to 166, MSTZ pushed down from 15 to 13. Then you have all this consolidation right here. So what I'm looking at is if MSTR sells off with Bitcoin, then MSTZ will push up. So MSTZ to answer your question on that one. And that is a good question. So you have Bitcoin selling off. MSTR should be selling off a bit more aggressively. I mean, it's obviously it's not, but it should be, right? And then you have other companies like BITX. will go up when Bitcoin goes up. So it's a little cheaper if you can't buy Bitcoin or MSTR. You could buy BITX. So, you know, it's not the best spreads, the best range, but when it popped up, it went from 27 to 29. So that was $2 in profit. And now that Bitcoin's selling off, BitX is selling off. Also, there's MSTU, I believe. We have another trader who trades MSTU. This is a 2x long of MSTR. So when MSTR pushes up like it did yesterday, it pushed up from 840 to 946, which was $1 per share, or about 12 cents per profit. So technically you could trade both sides, right? You could trade when crypto goes down, you could trade when crypto goes up. We're going to add MSTU to the list. They're both ETFs. MSTZ shorts it. MSTU goes long on it. So as you can see here, and it's 2 times leverage too. So when MSTR sells off 1%, MSTU will sell off 1%, and MSTZ will go up 1%. Hope that helps. Good question. Let's see, there is another report coming out. Today is full of reports. Of course, we talked about the reports this morning. Actually, I'm not even sure if you guys were even on when I did talk about that report. NASDAQ market dropping. We're still going to go over our swing trades in a moment. Let's see, what was it? Trade ideas. Oh, also announcements here. Right here, earn 75 free shares, fund any amount. So you could put in $1 into WEBULL, just $1. And you get 75 free shares. You'll receive $3 to up to $3,000 just for signing up with my link, either in this YouTube video or in the Discord. But yeah, trade ideas. Breaking news, pending home sales unexpectedly falls 9% month over month. That's far worse than the 0.3% that they expected decline. This marks the largest decline since the pandemic in 2020. Okay, that came out today. And then the US GDP came in at 4.4. So expected was 4.3, slightly higher than what was expected. Which means this could be bullish for the markets. So 2 reports already came out, 1 good and 1 very bad. So there'll be another report coming out. Let me pull that up here. Today, PCE report, which is the Fed's favorite measure of basically of inflation. So that comes out in, I don't think it's 2 minutes. Oh yeah, core PCE index in 2 minutes. Personal income, personal spending, personal consumption, that all comes out in 2 minutes. So we'll see what happens there, how that'll affect the market. But a 9% drop in home sales is not good, guys. 9%. I mean, we should be selling off much more aggressively. There's no way GDP is holding us up because it went up 1%. So The largest decline since the pandemic in 2020 for pending home sales, guys. This is not good. NASDAQ market. Okay, so just did exactly what we thought it would do, right? Sold off, pushed up to retest, selling off now. Now is it going to consolidate and sell off, or are we going to see it consolidate and push up? 1 minute for the report. Bitcoin still actively selling off, which means MSTR should continue to sell off as well. Giving us an opportunity to make some money here. 50 shares of MSTZ, right around $700. That's where I'm comfortable. That way, if we get a really big dip, I could dip buy this with 50 shares if I wanted to. NASDAQ market still dropping, making new lows. PCE report is out. Let's see what it says here. I wonder if I need to refresh the page. Oh, that's not it. Today. Okay, PCE. PCE price index came in as expected, 0.2%, expected 0.2%. Personal income month over month came in 1% worse than expected at 0.3% compared to a 0.4%. So yeah, that's really about it. So nothing new there, not better or worse. All right. Bit of a slow morning here on a Thursday. We got one more trading day. Now it was a short week this week because of course Monday the market was closed due to Martin Luther King Day here in the US. Let's see if we continue to make new lows on QQQ. Bitcoin holding around 89. It did drop below 89 briefly. Here we go. MSTZ making a new high. Again, we're aiming for around 15 today. I'd love to see 15. Bitcoin slightly pushing higher. We'll go over our swing trades. So hood, kind of flat right now. Just a couple shares, about $200. Pretty much break even in my opinion. Let me see if I could scroll over. Yeah, average share price is 106.95. So we're down about 1%, $2 or so on this position. Nothing too crazy. And then we have our net, and with this, I'm actually thinking it can push up higher, maybe around 112, maybe even 125 eventually. So this is just one of those swing trades I took, one of them for the beginning of the year, to showcase you can make money with day trading and with swing trading. And then Netflix, looks like it's selling off slightly. This one's not doing as good because I bought at somewhat of a high point here. Could have bought at $80 and been up in the money. Currently down 5% on this one. It's an average share price of 89. I'm down about $10 on this trade. So nothing too crazy. With Netflix, I am aiming again for this moving average around 88. But overall, if we can get a good report, this thing could bounce off of this support level back up to 113, even $100, right? So for this one, analysts are saying an average would be 115, a high would be 151 for average price target. I didn't do that with Hood either. Hood's average price target around 150 to 180. So don't mind holding these positions a little longer, not just to showcase to you guys the power of swing trading, but also for myself to lock in some profits. QQQ is still slightly in the green at 0.3% from yesterday's close, but it's looking like it can continue to sell off. It is oversold on the RSI and the MACD, so this can pump when people start coming in to buy. But looks like it's trying to hold. There's some consolidation here. I'd love to see this drop some more though. Bitcoin not doing much either, trying to hold above 88,900, but it's got a nice descending pattern off of this 45 EMA. As long as it continues this descending pattern and getting rejected off of this EMA, this can continue to go lower. MSTR, big sell-off with MSTR, making newer lows for the day, down 1.65%. MSTZ is now up 3% from areas of buying around 1368. You guys also see how it retested very nicely. It opened this morning down in the red, right? So it started around right here, went down like it was going to sell off. It pushed up. It held this as a support, pushed up higher, came back down to retest moving average again as a support, pushed up, came back down, and it's now pushing higher. So these are strong indications that we are in the right trade, that the direction is in our favor on this trade. We're up $12, almost 2% on a $700 position, about 50 shares. Now, I said I wasn't going to look, but I'm doing better than I was, right? I just have it open to where anyone can see it, and I could see it and continually look at it, to where that could result in, obviously me locking in profits too soon, or taking or cutting my losses too early as well, or even having a trailing stop loss, right? Having a trailing stop loss up here at 14, I lock in $5, $10, and then it runs up to 15, and I miss out on an $80 to $100 move because I had my trailing stop loss too tight, or because I thought I'd give back, the little bit of profit that I made. So we're trying something new, always adjusting our strategy, always making sure to push ourselves to be better. We'll see if Bitcoin breaks this pattern. If not, this can continue to sell off. QQQ looks like it is going to get rejected again. A lot of consolidation at 618. I'd love to see this sell off a little bit more for our overall position here. So MSTR sell off some more. Now again, if we get a significant pull, if we get a significant rally on MSTR back up to moving average, you know, it's still not a break of pattern. And I would like to buy more of MSTZ if this does come back down. MSTU selling off as well. See what happens. A lot of consolidation for Bitcoin at this level. It wasn't a significant sell-off, but it was a little bit of something here. QQQ still dropping slightly. Well, there's some consolidation here. There we go. QQQ trying to push up higher. There we go. Let's see if this gets rejected or if it pushes up higher. Okay, looks like it's getting rejected off of that level again. All right, MSTZ still pushing up higher. Love to see it. See how high it can go. See what else is happening in the market. Microsoft selling off. Tesla trying to hold above that moving average on the 30-minute. Google selling off. Apple holding above that moving average, but still below the true moving average. Amazon getting rejected off of that 200 MA. Lululemon pushing up. We'll be retesting this as potential resistance. Nvidia holding very well above the moving average for now. Hood getting rejected off of it. Netflix still in that buy range area. PayPal, nice move with PayPal. Found support above the moving average at 56, pushed up to 57. Beautiful move. Intel curling over after a beautiful run from yesterday. CMG still running up. SoFi is above the moving average. Let's see if it holds. Testing it as a support. If it can hold as support, it'll skyrocket, go up even higher. If it gets below this moving average, then it'll sell off more and retest this support around $25. Wouldn't mind getting some shares of SoFi though. On that 1 hour, it got rejected off of the moving average, so that's not good. Different time frames can give you a different perspective on companies, stocks, and ETFs. LUNR below that moving average now. Sound also struggling below the moving average for about a week or so. needs to get above that moving average to get more bullish. Bull getting rejected off of that moving average again. Nothing new. And open above the moving average. For now, it validated support and then sold off. Same thing here. Got above the moving average, got below. And then it sold off. Right here, this is the first time it's validated it and held. Validated it and held. So we'll see if open door on the 1 hour can now get above this moving average because it's been getting rejected off of it. If it can get above the moving average right around, what is that, 670 and hold, we can get some more upward momentum on open door technology for sure. OpenAI crash wouldn't be surprising in retrospect. No, it wouldn't, because it's happened before, right? Touches these points, sells off to 6, goes back up to 7-ish, sells off to 6. Tesla is holding very well. Holding very well in a 30-minute. I think Tesla could sell off to 200 based on what the company produces. It's not doing as well as it once was. Now this of course used to be up to not only $500, but like I think $1,000 before the reverse split. So it's holding very well up at these levels. Elon has been doing very good keeping up with Tesla. His $1 trillion pay package to his SpaceX IPO, coming in and offering Starlink to all these different countries. He's doing well for himself. He has a lot going for himself. I like Elon. I like Tesla. I believe in what they're doing. But I don't have any shares of this company at this time. Fundamentally, I believe this can still sell off more, right? From $500 down to $435. As a car company, for as many cars as it produces, it's just a car company right now, and I can see discrepancies in, obviously how many cars he sells per year. Cybertruck was not the best vehicle to create and sell. They've lost a ton of money trying to sell these Cybertrucks. So, but yeah, it's looking okay for now. QQQ still dropping, getting rejected off of that 45 EMA. Love to see it. That's what we were waiting for. Looks like it can sell off even more. Let's see this drop. Bitcoin also getting rejected off that 45 EMA. A little bit more consolidation and not as strong as a sell-off as we've seen earlier this morning. So that's a bit concerning. MSTR still doing what it needs to do, selling off below this 45 EMA. Getting rejected off of that moving average. We're going to buy another 10 here. Right at 14, so adding a little bit more to our position. Now have 60 shares. We're up about 1%, but we're looking for 3. Thank you. How's it going? Huh? What, babe?
I'm the same.
Oh, dang it. Definitely a rest day, huh? That's okay. There's nothing wrong with resting. Thank you for my coffee. Wife brought me some coffee. I like to drink my coffee about an hour to an hour and a half after I wake up. That lets my body flush out what it needs to flush out and use some of that natural energy. I haven't even stepped outside today. I should probably do a better job of that now that winter at least the shortest days of the month are out of the way. So now each day will gain 1 minute because winter solstice is over. We're beyond it. So now we're going into summer solstice, which is what I always thought was fascinating by, you know, by retrospect, I guess, like you lose 1 minute a day all the way up until winter solstice to where you get like I think it's like a 10-hour day, 10 hours of light, and then you get 12 hours of darkness. And then in the summer, when we get closer to summer solstice, we're getting like a 13-hour or maybe even more than that day of light, right? Sun will come up at like 7, won't set until like 7 or 8. We're getting like a 12 or 13-hour long day. But yeah, get outside, get some sunlight. Today we're doing a caramel macchiato creamer with 0 sugar in our New York cup. This actually, I believe it has a Twin Towers on it. Yep, it does. World Trade Center, the 2 Twin Towers. Always wanted to go and check it out, but of course they're not there anymore. It's got Times Square. It's got Lady Liberty. And then it's got the Empire State Building. And it has the Chrysler Building. Pretty cool. I think New York would be a cool place to visit. Do me a favor, smash that like button for me. Looks like Bitcoin's going to sell off a little more. Love to see that. That way MSTR can drop a little bit more. That would help our position on MSTZ. Again, up about 1%. We're up 1% on our position, but I'd really love to get, not just 1%, but potentially 8%, right? Make $1 per share. Let's see where our cost basis is. 60 shares at $13.87. I'd love to see 15. Make 8%, lock in about $60 or so today, $60 or $70. Again, I could always add more to my position and make more money. And we could also still lose money, okay? So I want you guys to be aware of that. There we go, QQQ pushing up to retest that 45 EMA. Looks like it is going to get rejected. Or it's going to push up. Looks like it's going to push up here. Yep. A lot of green volume coming in here. On the 5-minute though, still below that moving average. Nice little 3 stages of reversal here. The sell-off, consolidation. Obviously the RSI is curling over. MACD is curling over. Let's see if it holds, if it continues to push up. Or if this gets rejected once again, making a lower low. It's kind of what I'm looking at right here. How it's going to be something like this. Bitcoin still getting rejected off of that moving average. Again, not selling off as aggressive, but still getting rejected. There we go. Looks like Bitcoin may sell off a little more here. There it goes. Nice big sell-off. Beautiful sell-off by Bitcoin. How's that affecting MSTR? Nice big sell-off. There we go. So we are now in some decent money here. $22. $20, 2%. $16.24. Looks like it's already trying to recover. We're gonna sell. We're gonna wait. Another leg down. This can sell off even more. $22 up 2.5%. This could be a full recovery too, so we're gonna sell 50 shares here. Again, I could always get back in if I want to. We're gonna lock in majority of that profit right away. That way Bitcoin does begin to push up. See how it's such a small candle there? Yeah, honestly, I'm just going to play it safe. We are at such overbought levels. Already recovering. I'm going to sell them right here. Screenshot, 2.67%, another 20 bucks. I'll take it. I'm not trying to be greedy. And again, I could always get back in. I could buy another, 40, 50 shares if I wanted to. Like, that's what's so great about not over leveraging, not buying too much all at once. Because I've done it where, sure, I could have bought 100 shares here, right, and been up $50, $60, but also I could have bought 100 shares. It could have went down, and then I wouldn't have had, I would have had more emotions, whether to cut my losses or to add to my position, than just easing into the trade. It's all about just easing into the trade. What's comfortable for you? So not a bad trade indeed. Another $20 in 30 minutes. About an hour today, honestly. And again, still pushing up higher. I just don't like this consolidation here for Bitcoin. Bitcoin can literally push all the way back up, and it can continue to sell off, which means I can get back in, right? MSTZ's up 5%. We were able to capture half of it. And usually when I get back into a trade like this, it goes against me. So we're just going to be patient. If it sells off without us, that's okay. If it begins to rally and push back up, we could always get back in. MSTZ down here at this level again, down at 14, down at 1377 when it does retest this moving average. And it doesn't have to come all the way back down, but it definitely could. See what QQQ is doing. See, QQQ is trying to run up. We drew this trend line on a higher time frame. Go to a lower time frame, and you could always adjust it a little bit. But look at that perfectly. It needs to break this trend line to push higher. It can. Nothing's saying it can't break this trend line, which would be red anyways, right? This would be a descending trend line. Same with crypto. I mean, you can do the same thing with crypto. This has a pretty aggressive descending trend line here. So when we go to the 1 minute, you can see it's getting rejected off of these levels. So now it's so overextended, I want to wait for it to come back up to retest the trend line. If it retests this trend line and then it gets rejected again, that's fantastic. Right now, this is like buying at the top, right? I wouldn't want to buy it. And see, I would have gave back profits if I would have bought there. That's exactly what I was thinking. So every day, consistently getting better at what we do, perfecting our craft. If you practice trading or practice anything for 100 hours, you'll be all right. You'll be kind of good. You'll start getting the hang of it, right? Like with anything, you practice guitar, you practice piano, you're gonna slightly get a little better. But what about 500 hours? What about 1,000 hours? You do 1,000 hours, you're gonna be pretty decent at whatever it is you're doing, right? And when you hit 10,000 hours, you're a master, right? They talk about it. 10,000 hours of anything, you're going to become a master. And if you're doing that 1 hour a day, that's what, 10,000 days? Roughly 3 years. 3 years of consistent practice. Now, of course, you could say that you could become better by doing more instead of an hour a day. Maybe you're doing 2 hours a day, so now you're getting better. You know, you're becoming a master in 18 months. Maybe doing 3 hours a day, you become a master in a year. It's whatever your time commitment is for the thing is that you want to practice. But I think we're getting better. We're showing up daily. We're consistently showing up for the team, making you all better while making myself better. We're consistently locking in 2%. I think this is our 4th or 5th consistent or consecutive green day in a row. I'll have to, let's see here. Go to our trading journal. All right, we're green today. We were green yesterday. Made 20 bucks yesterday. We were green on Tuesday. Made 10. Friday we were green. It was break-even trade pretty much. We only made about $1, but we were still green. Thursday we were up 10. And then on Wednesday we took one red day and it was a loss of $8, which isn't bad. $8 is nothing. And then Tuesday we had a $35 win. So that's 5 green days in a row, a red day, and then a 6th green day in 2 weeks. And we have more green days, if you could see there, we have more green days than red days for the month. We got 3, 6, 9, we got 10 green days for January, 10, and only 6 red days. So not bad. It's all about keeping your losses smaller. So if I can make $10, $20, $30, $40 a day on my green days and then only lose $5, $8, $12 when I lose, then you're going to be more profitable. Consistently more profitable. So yeah, we've been live for about an hour, locked in a few profits, and if I see more of a pull up, if it gets rejected off of this level, then I'm gonna buy more shares, and we could potentially lock in some more profits. So we're just gonna wait for confirmation that again MSTR kind of runs up, gets rejected off of this level, sells off a little more, then I would get back in. QQQ breaking above that trend line, so QQQ looking slightly bullish. Yep, it is above that moving average now, so this could begin to push up even higher, which means what? My swing trades will then begin to push up higher. We still have Netflix doing its deal here, only down about $1.50, and Hood only down about 64 cents today. So as these push higher, our position size will only grow stronger. Mini P&L up $20 for the day. Of course, it's fluctuating because we do have our swing trades in effect. Locking in $22, 2.66% on MSTZ. Beautiful move. You guys got to watch it here first. Get to see my trading records. Buy, 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 and then 2 sells right at the top of this move. So very happy with my trade today, and yeah, hope to see you guys here again tomorrow for another live day trading session, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Remember, practice, 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 and let's end the year on a green note, guys.